Hello and welcome to episode 146 of Nintendo Therapy, a show about the latest Nintendo news and rumors, as well as a celebration of all the things Nintendo. My name is Kevin, and joining me this week in this double wide trailer, because we got a bunch of trailers, get it, is Harrison.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about this week.
It's actually a
So,
triple wide trailer.
uh, we're just gonna do news this week,
Yeah.
there might be a couple things that I just kind of touch on kind of quick. But, anyways, guys, welcome back. I hope you guys are doing well. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. And what are we starting with today?
I think the thing people most want to probably hear our thoughts on are the Mario Galaxy trailer. So we can do that as a top story. I'm sure you watched it because I saw you took notes on it as well. Um, my initial takeaway, I got a couple of bullet points here. I thought it was a very safe trailer for them to have. Not that that's a bad thing. It's very much, hey, here we go again. It's not really anything that just elevates it to the next level, in my opinion. I think that's why I'm lacking a little bit of excitement. It just seems like it's going to be the same experience, which isn't a bad thing. I had a good experience with the first film. It just seems like it's not really, this is going to take it to the next level. People are theorizing Donkey Kong being absent from the trailer means that his film is going to be announced soon. Um, Odd that they're not focusing a little more on Yoshi, in my opinion, because I think that's how this gets elevated from the previous project, is you kinda, like, focus on him. Each sequel should kinda take the franchise to the next step. If there's one thing the MCU did right before it stopped doing it, it was that. The MCU always kinda was, like, escalating in the until we got to Endgame. Um you can go back to, like, my first thoughts on the first movie, though, and right away, I predicted Baby Bowser for the follow-up. I know in hindsight it seems obvious, but there were people who didn't think it would happen, so I'm just gonna take this victory lap where I can get it, and, people were kinda arguing for the Koopa Kids to be in the next one, which I kinda think makes more sense for the 3rd film. Hopefully, we do kinda still get them. Um, but yeah, that's my initial thoughts. I've got more. How about you?
Yeah, and we got some Mario Galaxy 2 video game B-roll because
Mhm.
I know I'm not using any seconds of or any screenshots or anything of this movie just to um avoid any kind of
Keep our video
possibility.
up, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just avoid getting automatically flagged or anything like that also. Um
Yep.
so yeah, it I think there's a chance it will improve on the first one, and then, yeah, I think I kind of agree on everything that you said. I think it's nice that there is a clear carryover from the first one, like Bowser's
Mhm.
small. Yeah, he's still small from the first movie,
Yeah, it's
and
nice that they had continuity.
I think, yeah, I think you're right on with saying that it's a safe initial trailer. I think, and then I'm hopeful. I'm not sure, but I'm hopeful that in later trailers we find out a bit more of the story. But it is still an Illumination film, and it's still going to be made for people that are younger than us. I found the first movie to be a lot of fun, but to be kind of like a 60-minute or like a 90-minute TikTok film, of like where it's like everything just moves really, really fast. And
Mhm.
I think with Mario Galaxy, the people who are like diehard fans of Galaxy or Galaxy 2, they're so passionate about the world and the world building.
Yeah.
And that's a part
Yep.
that we could still see in the future, or maybe that's the part that's lacking. But overall, I think this has a chance to be like a two, like it could be like incrementally better than the first movie. Um, Pretty happy for Brie Larson. I think that's pretty
Mhm.
cool. Like, Nintendo
Yep.
fan, gets to be a Nintendo movie.
Yeah, she
Do
did some ads for Animal Crossing, didn't she? Or did she just tweet about it a lot? I can't
she
remember.
she did ads, didn't she?
I
Or
think so, yeah.
maybe it wasn't just Animal Crossing. People
Yeah.
like let us know down below. Like let you know. And then I saw Uncut Gems. I'm not a movie guy. Do you know the Safdie brothers?
No, not really. That I have that's like on my to-do list, just like video games. I've got such a backlog of movies to watch as well. It's being an adult, you know? You run out of you don't have as
I
much time as you used to have. I'll get
I
to it.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I saw Uncut Gems. I didn't and then I don't even recognize that name, but
Mm.
he's gonna be Baby Bowser, right? He's gonna be Baby Bowser,
Yeah,
isn't he?
and I saw some people online complaining about the voice. I didn't have a problem with it. Like it's I don't know. I I don't have like a lot of thoughts on how Baby Bowser should be presented. Like I think he's pretty cool in the trailer that we saw. I don't know why people were I mean, it's the internet.
Just
Haters
something
gonna hate.
just something to pick on. Uh
Yeah.
You know, or maybe not, because again, I don't really know, like, I don't know this person, so I wouldn't associate them with Nintendo or anything in
Mhm.
particular. So, yeah, go off. I mean, it's the internet, so, have fun with it, I guess. Uh, yeah, Rosalina is my biggest question because it seems like Rosalina is going to have the same protagonist angle as Peach does. So, do we get the
Yeah.
opportunity to see more of Peach's character, or do we learn more about Rosalina, who is much less known than Peach? Of course, that's the part that I am really interested in. And again, maybe not. Maybe this is just a fun movie that slightly improves on the other one. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I
Yeah, a
saw.
lot of people Oh, go ahead.
I'm moving on. So what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say a lot of people are excited about the Rosalina aspect of it. I know she's got a big following. I've never really understood her following because I came into the Galaxy games late. Um, I I don't know. I think they would get a lot more out of a character like Daisy. That's my hot take. The knives to the face from Tangled meme. Like, I've always gotten, like, a Jessie from Toy Story vibe from Daisy, so I think she would be cool maybe in the next movie. I'm all my notes are, like, about, like, what I want the next movie to be, like Yoshi and stuff. It's cool that we have other Mario stuff in there, like, I didn't know the sky pyramids were such a big deal, but the new poster they revealed today very prominently features those upside down sky pyramids, and we saw them in the background of the first movie, so they're they're definitely more important to the Mario universe than we think, just knowing what they are in Odyssey. Um, and I had a few other notes. One is that I think we've seen what the title pattern is gonna be for these. Now they could always change it for the third one, but it seems like the formula is the Super Mario blank movie. With first we had the Super Mario Brothers movie, now we have the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So I'm thinking the next movie is going to be something like, maybe not necessarily this, but something like the Super Mario Odyssey movie. Like they'll just keep slotting something else in there. But I'd also like to see them do something with Super Mario Brothers 3 for the next one too, because it's a 3. So who knows? Um, and the last note here, while I was thinking about this, I thought about like what my dream project would be. I hope this film positions Yoshi where he can get his own spin-off movie. I know people talked about Smash Brothers and doing like a Star Fox movie and an F-Zero movie and all that, but I don't think we need to build the Smash Brothers as the end game. I think it makes more sense to keep it with Mario characters at first. Give Donkey Kong, then Yoshi, then Luigi Mansion. Like there's enough there. And my dream project is I was thinking about this and I was like, you know, what'd be awesome would be like a Suicide Squad esque movie with the Koopa kids where Wario is like in charge for some reason. So bring on Wario, bring on the Koopa kids. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Smash Bros. I mean, we could get a lot of
Well, eventually,
movies,
but I'm
but
talking about what you have to do to get to Smash Bros. Like, I think you need to continue making spin-offs. At least the first 2 need to be of the Mario movie before you start saying, "Okay, we're gonna have a Star Fox movie now and an F-Zero movie." The Zelda one is live action, so they would have to do an animated Zelda or find some creative way to make the live action one tie in. I don't
I,
know.
I
Um,
I'm gonna
but
disagree. Yeah, yeah.
disagree with what?
I'm gonna disagree that's the right way to go because as a Nintendo fan, that's what I would like to have. But if I'm someone who is like a casual Nintendo fan, I want a cinematic universe movie uh to introduce those other
Yeah, I'm
characters or to remind me of,
I'm
of those
I'm
other
not arguing
characters.
that. I'm saying you have the way the Marvel movies did, you have the movies that lead to the cinematic universe movie. Like I think we're still getting to Smash eventually because it's too big a property to not do. I'm just saying like keep the first few projects because we already know we're getting Donkey Kong. It's all but announced. Maybe give one more Mario in there. Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi, whatever it happens to be
I just don't
before
know.
you
Yeah, like is there gonna be the appeal and demand of it? I guess if we're making direct comparisons to Marvel,
Yoshi, there
I
would
guess
be. I think if you had to guess, Yoshi would probably be the more bankable one, but then again, we have to see what this
I don't
Yoshi
know.
is like
I,
first.
I really don't know because I just don't really see Yoshi associated with children that much. Like
He's
like
gonna be a bigger draw than Star Fox or, F-Zero. Those are the
I
examples I keep coming to.
I do
Maybe
I
Metroid could work.
do agree
Metroid
with
could
that.
work.
I do agree with
Yeah.
that, but I think of something like Smash Brothers and like how like that IP is just like a name of itself that you could put into a movie. Whereas like Yoshi compared to something like like Bluey or something else, like I don't see any children with like Yoshi merch or anything like that. So I don't know. I really don't know what the demand of it would be. I think the next step, like if you're gonna make it around a video game, because like they made a Mario Galaxy movie, would be Smash Brothers. But I really,
Well, I
I
think
have no idea. I
almost
really don't.
certainly the next step is gonna be Donkey Kong and then maybe Smash Brothers. But it seems like I don't know, it seems very suspicious that he's absent so far
I
from
I don't.
the focus.
Is it? I guess so. I mean, it's just the initial trailer. Like we're getting more trailers. We didn't see all. Did we see all the characters in the initial trailer? Like, there's gonna be other ones that are still there, right? They didn't talk about the entire cast in this initial trailer. They just talked. They just and they had Jack Black in it, which was a really weird. It's kind of just.
Yeah, I think
No.
Seth Rogen would want, his star power mentioned, though, whatever star power he has. I'm putting it as my prediction. I'm marking it down. I think we're getting Donkey Kong next.
Hmm,
Mark it in the books. You can disagree. This is my record. I called Baby Bowser, and
I
I
like
called a
it.
few other things we'll talk about in the next few segments.
Sure, I like it. I mean, Mario's always been big, but like Odyssey was a huge game. Then we got Mario movie, so it's not unreasonable to think like they would release a big Donkey Kong game before releasing a Donkey Kong movie. So yeah, I mean, I like I like that idea, and I would definitely see it.
Also, to clarify, I don't think we're gonna get the Wario Koopa Lings movie. That was just
Right.
my dream project that I would like to
No,
see.
I
But yeah,
understand that. I
yeah.
understand that. Yeah,
All right.
sure. Cool.
But anyway, what do you want to talk about next? There's a lot going on this week.
Cool. Cool. Um, well really quickly, because I don't because and I would set a timer if I had it. Did you see IGN and Nintendo Life? I think together they did their top 100 Nintendo games. So I so
No, but I'm sure the list is full of hot takes so that people leave
Yeah,
comments.
and honestly, I just don't really care, and, like, that's the reason why, because something I've really had it with this
Number 1,
trend.
Super Mario Brothers 2, like something weird.
No, it's not that weird, but it is what you say, it's to kinda draw up just talk about
Yeah.
it, but, like, I see this trend with a lot of publications, like, I saw Bleacher Report do it recently, where they'll do is they'll do Bleacher Report's top 50 NBA players,
Mhm.
and then for the next week, they'll say, "Can you believe Bleacher Report put this person at number 1?" It's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, because that's what you did. That was your choice. We can believe it because that was your choice." Anyways, I digress. I want to say the top 5 for you, and then we're moving on because again, this is just kind of it is. We understand what the journalism part of this all is. Number 1, Tears of the Kingdom. Number 2, Breath of the Wild. Number 3, Super Mario World. Number 4, Mario Odyssey. Number 5, Tetris. Okay, I want to keep going. 6, Ocarina of Time. 7, Chrono Trigger. 8, Super Metroid.
Very
9,
Zelda heavy top 10.
9, Link to the Past. 10, Mario Kart 8. So no Mario Brothers 3 in that top 10. You got Link to the Past, got Ocarina of Time. Tears of the Kingdom, IGN puts up really, really high. And I probably could have predicted that if you would have asked me.
Yeah,
If
because
you
it
would have
gets
told me.
people commenting, gets
Yeah.
people talking.
Well, IGN, I think, ranked it really high, if I can remember. So if you would have told me what the publication was, I think I could have gotten that. So yeah,
I do not
like
endorse that list.
they they say that Breath of the Wild is the more important game, but Tears of the Kingdom is the better game overall. Whatever. Again, I am moving on. Something I wanted to talk about in the small talk is that Kiwami 1 and 2, uh, the Switch 2 version got a trailer. I think those are out now. Looks really good. But it is a game key card. And it's pretty clear that they need to make adjustments around that sooner than later. Um, Nintendo needs to adjust to it before the industry adjusts to what the demand is, and I think that's
And what
going
do you
to
mean by that? Because I've seen articles that say basically developers saying, like, they're not going anywhere. So what do you mean by Nintendo adjust to it?
well, if physical media is still a demand and still
Mhm.
something that people want, it's going to affect their software sales in the long run. Even if they are, shipping out and selling lots of consoles right now, it will impact them in the long run if they don't make adjustments and simply just have smaller cards available to developers. Developers, at least some of them, would choose physical games over key cards if it was financially available to them. But right now it's not because like the smallest one is 64 gigs. And if you have a $20 game, you just cannot afford it. So I think which is going to lead into the whole Steam machine conversation, is that I think Nintendo needs to just offer more options and make that adjustment. Because if not, it leads an opportunity for some other company to make adjustments towards that. No one likes game key cards. It's not consumer friendly at all. And we knew this was coming when we saw the whole game sharing thing happen with Nintendo. We knew that was not going to be consumer focused. So I think they need to fix that just sooner than later because I've seen people say, "What's the big deal?" Like, if you're gonna buy digital, you know, a game key card is pretty much just digital. It's e-waste, and there's a clear demand for people who want physical media and that want it in the long run. Because there's a lot of questions on what happens to key cards and all this digital media in the long run. That's all. And you can say
There's
that.
also the opposite end of the file size argument, though, which I feel is where the only game key cards we should be seeing are the ones where the game would not fit on a card otherwise. Final Fantasy VII Remake is the example people keep using for that because it's a huge file that would not fit on a Switch game key card.
Sure.
There's also the argument to be made for compression, not having to compress a game as much when they use a key card. But again, only if it's those large file games. If your game could fit on a card, put it on a card.
Sure, sure. Which is why like the most simple thing is offer 32. I offer 32 and then 16 or whatever it is, or whatever the sizes
I think
are are for
I think I
that.
remember reading Nintendo. Man, I wish I had all the facts. So, possible fact, I think I remember an article where Nintendo was considering making different size cards. So that might be on the horizon.
Yeah, and I think it will. And you could I could rebuke my argument by saying that, Xbox is dying, PlayStation isn't going to come in and defeat Nintendo at the physical media part of this. That all could be true because everyone could be going down that same path. I just know that it goes beyond YouTube comments, this issue of just constant practices that are clearly not meant for consumers. Game sharing wasn't for consumers. Key cards are not for consumers. There's just better options for it. What I'm saying is there's always that opportunity that if you don't fix an issue, that another system or company comes in and says, "Hey, consumers want this. Here you go." So, anyways, um, the Steam machine is a cube. Everyone's calling it the Gabe cube. Gabe's the president of Valve.
Yeah, and
And
they've also
go ahead.
revealed that they put out the file for you to make your own custom faceplate to it if you have a 3D printer. So I
Oh,
will
sure.
definitely be getting a GameCube custom faceplate, as I'm sure many other people will.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with Linux or Steam or anything, uh, it's as simple as downloading a video file if you want your own startup. So you could easily make or just download a GameCube or GameCube
Oh
Steam
yeah.
startup thing. So when you press it on, I don't have it on mine because I don't have it on my Steam Deck because I don't care. But I've seen plenty of really cool startup ones. You can make a whole GameCube one. You could hook up your USB uh, GameCube controller to it, and then Dolphin emulator, you're set. You got a
Hmm.
whole GameCube on there. Anyways,
Yeah.
uh, I think that this announcement surprised a lot of people. It probably didn't surprise the people who are involved in actually making hardware, but yeah, for me, it's like it's kind of at that. I didn't put my notes on here about this. It's kind of for me to the point where, like, since I have a PC and a Steam Deck, I wouldn't want a Steam machine, but it's definitely something that I would look towards in the future. And
And me, it's for me.
I'm just
I
so
don't have a
happy.
PC, I don't have a Steam Deck, and I've always been interested in getting in, and I think this is where I get in, honestly. I really think I'm not saying I'm gonna be a day one purchase on this, but I'm definitely getting one.
I
I
totally
think PlayStation might be getting left behind. Sorry, PlayStation, but I've had a PlayStation 5 for years now. I have like 3 games for it. It's not it's not doing it for me.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Nintendo is a part of all of this, and that's where I promised that I would tie this all in.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I didn't I messed up my notes completely, so I'm just pulling it up now.
Well, I
Yeah,
can talk while you pull
it,
it up.
it's
I'm really excited for this
I got
project.
I got it right here. So it's
Okay.
going to be the Steam Machine. They're saying, well, Digital Foundry did a great video on it as always. It's going to be a little bit less powerful than a PS5 or like Xbox Series X.
Don't
Um,
care. I'm a Switch guy. They're already less powerful. Go on.
but it'll still be, like, more powerful than a Steam Deck, and I can play every game that I want on my Steam Deck. So, yeah, this is totally something that I'm looking towards in the future because, like, I'm just not someone who plays in front of my TV that much. But if I
Mhm.
want in the future, especially because they're saying that Valve is saying that they're gonna try to make it as cost effective as possible.
You and
And
I are at opposite ends on this because you just said another thing where I almost never play my Switch in handheld mode. So that's another thing. I prefer to play on the TV. So again, this is they made this for me. Like I need this thing.
yeah, and I don't know what the price is going to be,
They haven't
but
revealed it yet. I've been
yeah,
desperately searching.
but there's rumors about, like, Xbox Next Gen being, like over like 1,000 euro, 1,000 pounds, whatever this symbol
I've seen
is.
people estimate as low as 600 for this, so we'll see.
Yeah, I could see it being because they're gonna offer it without the controller and then
Mhm.
with the controller. So I could see it being like 600 because then it'll go on sale. The Steam Deck I think is like down to like 350 or 400 now, which is great. I spent way more than that initially, and it still has
No, yeah, it
been.
was almost cost prohibitive at first, and now they're in the same ballpark as a Switch.
Yeah.
That was people's main
Now
argument
it's
against the
very.
Switch 2 when the price dropped, is they were like, "I could get a Steam Deck for that much." That was, like, the number 1
Yeah,
comment.
yeah, and overall too, you're gonna save a lot. I mean, if you're someone like me that I didn't really switch over. I didn't switch over, but I wasn't into Steam too much until I got my Steam Deck. I've saved hundreds of dollars buying games on Steam than buying games elsewhere because I mean, there's times where like Borderlands 3 was free on the Steam store. I mean, you could buy it on sale for Nintendo, but, like, they have games sometimes that are just free if you download it, in that time. So, yeah, I wasn't sure where Steam was going because with the release of SteamOS, I wasn't sure how focused they would be on hardware, but with how much I love my Steam Deck, I'm just very happy that they are sticking with the hardware. The controllers look awesome with the trackpads. I think that's gonna be great. They've had experiences with hardware already, so they kind of know what they wanna shoot towards and what's going to work for them. I mean, if it affects Xbox a lot. It pretty much kills Xbox
Yeah.
if the cloud service is legit. It affects PlayStation, and then with Nintendo, I think it just closes the gap a little bit because, um, if you're some because it's not going to be a direct competitor, but if some of the install base can be influenced by the PC or now the PC hybrid gaming, that will
Mhm.
bring costs down in the long run. At least with
Ye
like software numbers, because it will just create that influence. It will not be a killer, but it will influence Nintendo to look at different business practices in the future. So that's my
and
biggest hope.
Nintendo's strength has never really been, the hardware side of things or anything like that. They're what makes them bulletproof is all the IPs they have. They have the Marios, the Zeldas, the Metroids, the Star Fox, like everything Kirby. They've got audiences just off of that, so they're never going to be afraid of something like this. It's like you said, it just might make the price points a little more competitive.
Right. Steam Deck, it's like an initial console if you want to consider it like that. It's about 2 million hardware units sold, which for an initial console is really, really good. It's not going to
Mhm.
be a direct competitor, but think you can look at the influence that Steam has had on just the gaming sphere overall. And this just helps consumers. I mean, this is just a very Steam, just by really existing, has been a very, very pro-consumer platform and company. So I'm pumped about this. And it's looking like that it's going to be here to stay. And I'll
I
definitely
look
look forward
forward to
to it.
joining the Steam family.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing it in the future because I plan to have a Steam Deck for forever, whether that's the next one or the one that I have now. So, so yeah, yeah, pretty cool. The GameCube. um,
So
so
back to
go ahead.
the trailer end of things. We had two other trailers this week. There was a 7-minute trailer for Metroid Prime and a gameplay trailer for Kirby Air Riders. Do you want to talk about either one of
Sure,
those?
sure. Well, Metroid Prime, yes, and then Air Riders. Hey, um, it's I've never seen. I put in notes. I've never seen more information of a game pre-release than Kirby Air Riders. So I think I just gotta
Yeah.
say, hey, if you
They
if
practically
you
gave us the source code at this point.
if you don't have enough information on it, go watch Sakurai's first direct. That's 40 minutes, and second direct. That's 40 minutes, and the 8-minute video they just released. Um, I really don't have anything else to say about it. I think even if I was a fan of this series, I'd be like, let's just wait until it comes out. It seems like we have all the information. Metroid Prime 4, I'm back. Um,
Ooh, good.
I wasn't sure, and then I thought it looked good, and then it looked bad. I think um your predictions on this game are correct, and I think that Metroid Prime 4 looks pretty good, but you go. What do you think about the Metroid Prime 4 trailer?
Well, obviously the first thing I noticed that I think you were hinting at there is the motorcycle sections. I didn't write down what the motorcycle was called. They're really like they're connectors between areas, and I found like in my mind the perfect comparison for what I think this will be. I think this is going to be like Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time, how Hyrule Field just kind of connected all the different zones of that game. And there were little puzzles and things to do in that field, but it was really kind of just like the hub world. So that's really cool. And you've got the different regions in this classic Metroid style biome type of things. You've got a fire and lava zone, your icy snow zone. There's an electric themed area, which usually there's like a futuristic area. So that's probably that. And you've got the forest area. So it's like kind of like biomes, almost like a sci fi take on Hyrule Field. And a lot of the abilities that were in this trailer too, they also reminded me of Zelda, but Tears of the Kingdom for that, like the psychic glove in particular, which looks great. A ton of puzzle potential there. I'm sure they're going to be keeping the gyroid controls in mind for some of that. So look out for those type of puzzles. If you hate them, they're probably still going to be in everything Nintendo makes. Um, and yeah, we got some story beats. You wake up on an unknown planet called Vuros, which fits right into the standard Metroid formula as well. Samus always loses all her abilities at the start of the game, so now we know why in this one. It's been her losing consciousness before too. I think in Dread, she got knocked out. So that's going to be what kicks things off. I thought it was hilarious how the trailer hyped up the ability to jump as like there's an area where there's a part of the trailer where it lists your different abilities, and it's like alongside the power beam, the charge shot, the morph ball, the dash attack, and you'll have the ability to jump. Of course you will. uh you might as well say she can walk too. uh Anyway, I'm less sure. The only things in this trailer I was a little iffy on. I'm less sure about the Federation troops because I feel like Metroid games work best when they're focusing on that feeling of isolation and being alone in this dangerous alien world. So I worry that them being there might compromise that atmosphere a little, but we'll see. They don't all have to be the same game.
Yeah, we'll see if the traversal area is an actual like impact on the game or if it's just more
Mm,
filler because it's like you can drive around and collect crystals that you need for your energy for whatever you're doing next, but like is it going to be necessary for the entire game or is it something that's like all right, I'm going to go drive around again, get these crystals, go play the next thing, so
yeah.
I don't know. I think I'll have to
It was
kind of.
interesting that the crystals look the same as the ones they just unveiled for the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC as well. Like that's I don't know if that's a coincidence or what, but I'm like, "Oh, 2 both these games have these emerald-looking crystals that are important. That's weird."
Yeah, well, everything just looks like everything else. Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
why are they in in the Gerudo Desert? Like because clearly they're in a desert, so clearly that's the
Yep.
Gerudo Desert in Zelda, and clearly it is. Uh, um, yeah, and what else was I going to say about this? I I think it looks good. I think the amiibos look pretty cool, especially the one
Yeah, I saw that people have
with
been
the
buying those
motorcycle.
already, which they're not supposed to be out till December 4th, so that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I caught on to the whole like, yeah, she can jump thing also, and they're really emphasizing making sure that you buy the right versions of these games. And yet
Mm,
the simplicity, the accessibility part, the messaging is all things I want Nintendo to work on as well because they're like the Switch 2 version is available for the Switch 2. If you want
mm,
the Switch 2 version, make sure you buy the Switch 2 version. If you want the Switch 1 version, make sure you buy the Switch 1 version. If you buy the Switch 1 version and you want to upgrade to Switch 2 version, it's just like there's it takes like a whole minute at the end of the trailer to explain exactly what the parents are supposed to do. Uh yeah. Thank God my parents didn't grow up in this generation because they had enough difficulty just as it is, just with you know
mhm.
one console, one game. Uh,
We had back in the day, people might remember, we had, like, the Sears catalog, and we would circle the things we wanted for Christmas, so my parents just knew the exact item number to order. Otherwise, I think they would have been lost as well.
Sears used to sell heroin needles. You know that? It's not surprising,
I did not.
but like back in the day, like pharmacies over the counter, they had like cocaine, heroin, all of that. Yeah, I just learned that at Sears used to sell like heroin back like over 100 years ago. Um, yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, that's not related to what we are talking about. But just something that I read about this weekend. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So yeah, I think it looks good. I think the Switch 2 version looks cool. So let's see what the reviews are. Are you picking up this
Mhm.
game when it comes out?
Prime 4, yes, I'm a day 1 on Prime 4. It's one of my last day 1s before I enter my year of the backlog. More of that in a future podcast, but that's my goal for 2026, is to buy as few new games as possible. But this one I'm a day 1 on. I already finished 2 games this month, so technically I'm still ahead on the backlog. I finished, Mega Man 10 and, Mario Galaxy 2. So, take out 2, add 1.
And I'll talk to us about Pokopia because that's the other
Mhm.
trailer that we had
Yep.
yesterday, I guess at this point.
Quintuple wide trailer. We had 5 trailers.
Right. So Pokopia is coming out March 5th, 2026. And It's gonna be a key card. It's gonna be $70. There's most likely gonna be DLC to it. It there's a clear um it's pretty clear who they're advertising this game to, and I fit directly into it. Like, do you like Pokemon? Do you like life sims? Do you like Animal Crossing? Do you like Minecraft? It looks
World is already getting in on a, version of this, so it's almost like they're trolling Nintendo. Did you see that? They're
uh,
making like a Pal World farm sim type game that looks a lot like this.
right, right, which I think is more influenced just by the fact that there's so many other farm sim, life sim games. I think it's more funny that that Nintendo is so litigious on things that, in their opinion, they're innovative of. Not my opinion, but then they make something like this, which is just so much like Minecraft, and it looks so much like Dragon Quest Builders, which is
Mhm.
just one of my
There
favorite
was a
games of
Harvest
all
Moon
time.
game. I know you don't follow that series, but there was a Harvest Moon game that tried to incorporate the Minecraft, there's a term for that where everything is kind of like a layer of blocks, but yeah, there was a Harvest Moon that did it as well.
So the price, like the key card, I don't like, of course. The price, I don't like, of course. But man, like I'm really interested in seeing the level of depth this game is going to have because, man, it looks awesome. It looks really, really awesome. I do love Ditto, although it is a little bit creepy. You know, I think, they reveal that there's gonna be quests, so I'm interested in seeing, like, what the depth of that is. There's gonna be building and multiplayer, so I wanna know what the depth of the online multiplayer is going to be. There's a big focus on the whole island restoration part of it, so I'm wondering if this is gonna be something like it's gonna be like Minecraft, but it's not gonna be as it's not gonna have more of a focus, I guess, like of here's what you could do in a game, here's what you want to do in a game, and it's less about like you can build anything that you want, but it gives you more of like tools and maybe like houses that you can build off of, or just something like that. Like it's gonna have more of a focus, and maybe it's gonna be more easier for some people to get into than a Minecraft game, which is just like they drop you in the world and that's it. That's the beauty of that. So I think it could kind of like bridge that gap, and I think this is something that Animal Crossing will be looking towards to see, like, is it something that people enjoy? There's Distant Islands we found out, which is playing right now, that is going to be in this game, which is very similar to Dragon Quest Builders, and I think that is super cool. We got to see variants in this trailer. We saw regional variants. The professor is Tangrowth, and for some reason he has a TM on his head, like that CD that you see on there.
Because Nintendo wants to make sure everyone knows their stuff is trademarked.
Yeah. Uh, Pikachu, which is the first Pikachu variant in 25 years. Uh, he That's gonna be in the game, so that's huge. Like we're getting a Pikachu variant for a game like this, like not even like a mainline Pokemon game. Super cute. The wobbly ears with the Pikachu is always really cute. Always looks a little bit
Mhm.
more like, oh,
Is he
what's going
chubby?
on?
I miss my chubby Pikachu.
I don't know if he's chubby, but he's got the droopy
Uh,
ears. So
okay.
he looks very like very nice, very innocent.
I'm
Uh,
out. I'm out. Wait for it be on sale. They don't have my chubby Pikachu.
Moslax, which I don't know if that's the official name, I forget, but they have a Snorlax variant and a Smeargle. Is that how you say it? A Smeargle
Hey,
variant.
you're the guy
Um,
who would know.
They showed off a lot of Pokemon in the trailer, all from Gen 1 to Gen 9, so expect maybe that we see some Gen 10 Pokemon thrown in there by the time this game comes out. And yeah, I mean, we saw farming, fishing, you can glide, you can ride on the Pokemon, and there's also the component of since you're the Ditto, I think everything now is just echoes. Like we had echoes of wisdom
Yeah.
where you learn the skills, and now it's like you're a Ditto. So if you want to like light up the street lamps, you have to like find a Pikachu and then learn the skill
It's
and then
It's such a weird choice to make it the Ditto because they could have easily made this a trainer type character that had a device that could copy Pokemon abilities. It's such a weird choice. I love it. It gives the game personality, but it's something that you or I would have never made that decision.
yeah, but I loved it though. I mean, I loved Ditto as a kid
Mhm.
growing up. I thought it was, well, I thought it was like one of the ultimate Pokemon because, like, if you wanted to be a Ditto trainer, you had to have knowledge of all the other Pokemon as well.
I also
And
love that bit of, like, subconscious lore where I don't know if this has ever been made official, maybe you do, but there it was, like, hinted at that, like, Ditto was a failed Mewtwo clone because you find them all around where Mewtwo is, so in the cloning facility. Has that ever been, like, confirmed?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Okay.
I think you actually know more than me on that.
Okay.
That's really really cool. Yeah. Hopefully we can build together in this game. Like hopefully that's an option for online. And what else? They had AI voice acting in the trailer, but it's not gonna be in the actual
Oh.
game. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you like it feels like we're
Just
either
wanted to see if you'd notice so we can do it for real next time.
it feels like they're trolling us. It's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, you want voice acting? Okay. Alright, but we're just gonna put it in the trailer, and it's not gonna be a real person." Yeah, and the music, pretty sure that means that it's gonna be in the Kanto region. If this is region-based, I'm sure it is. But the music is from the Gen 1 games, so I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be set in Kanto. Yes, and if you're an Animal Crossing fan, don't be surprised if this is what Animal Crossing looks like in the future. So, yeah, it comes out March 5th. I'm pumped. I'm really
Whether
excited
or
about this
not I
game.
play this title is going to heavily depend on when we get the next Animal Crossing. Like, if we get the next Animal Crossing within a year, it's gonna delay my play of this game. If it takes until 2029, I probably will have played this game by then. Like, well, those are extreme examples, but I think you get what I'm saying.
If there are shiny Pokemon, I know we have variants, but if we can collect shiny Pokemon in this game, then that's gonna be a huge seller. That's pretty much all I need. But do I buy it full price? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I have a Switch 2 by then also. So that was super cool. I mean, I've been kind of over. We went really fast, but I've been kind of overwhelmed with the amount of the amount of news that we actually had this week.
Yeah,
Um, but I think
it's good
I
to go through it fast. You don't wanna, dwell and beat the dead horse or whatever that saying is.
right. Well, I definitely was gonna spend like 20 minutes going over IGN stupid article. So
If
yeah,
it were a slow news week, we might have, but it was not.
I think that's kind of like everything. Yeah, we got so Metroid is is this month. Air Riders is
December 4th, yep.
or next month, I guess. Air
Yeah.
Riders is this month. Pokopia's in March. Okay. All right. We got games coming out then. I think that's it. I'm looking through everything. I think we got everything then. Cool.
Alright, we can do the spotlight then. You ready?
Yep.
This week, our spotlight game is Winback Covert Operations for the Nintendo 64. Came out in September of 1999. was developed by Omega Force. Winback is one of those games that doesn't always get talked about, but quietly influenced a lot of the industry. It was one of the first shooters to use a true duck and cover system, sliding up against walls, popping out to fire, ducking back in, that sort of thing. The basic language of a modern third person shooter kind of starts here, well before Resident Evil 4, Gears of War, that type of thing. You play as Jean Luc Cougar, who is infiltrating a laser control facility taken over by a paramilitary group. The environments are classic Nintendo 64, blocky hallways and industrial rooms, very functional. The movement, it's a little stiff. I've seen people go back and forth online about the controls to this game. It's one of those ones where they're not very intuitive, but once you learn them, you love them. Um, so yeah, aiming the laser pointer is really cool. Once you get into the rhythm, pacing, it all feels deliberate and satisfying. It rewards patience and room clearing and not run and gun chaos like something like GoldenEye would do. Playing it today, especially now that it's on Switch Online, you can really see the DNA that went into 2000s games like Resident Evil 4, which I mentioned a second ago. Shinji Mikami, I think that's how you say it. He was the director of Resident Evil 4, and he mentioned this game being an influence on that. So once you know that, the connection's obvious. It's not a flashy game. It's not going to blow someone away in 2025, but it's kind of a little historical oddity. It's one of those like I'm glad I played it because it helps me understand where modern shooters come from type games. And yeah, this was one that I owned back in the day because I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, but I didn't get into Metal Gear Solid until I got a demo for Metal Gear Solid 2 when the PlayStation 2 first came out. And I think it came with a game called Zone of Enders. They advertised it had a Metal Gear Solid 2 demo. So I played that demo, loved it so much, I bought the first one. And then when the second game came out, I played the second one. So that's my Metal Gear Solid story. But yeah, I basically bought this in as my Nintendo 64 answer to Metal Gear Solid before I played it. And I don't know, marketing like that too, because it's written right on the box that this is Metal Gear Solid for the Nintendo 64. What were your thoughts?
Uh, I actually thought it didn't look that bad for the time,
Hmm.
because that's something I saw a lot in the like initial reviews that I had read. It's the movement is clunky, and for the amount of time I was able to spend on it, I won't say my ranking now, but I would say that this is definitely one of the games that I might change later on because I think I do need more time with it, with the whole getting used to the game and the controls. It
Yeah.
the training mode is nice. Like, I think everything is clear of what you're supposed to do in the game. I think it just takes a little more time to get used to. So, maybe maybe in the future things move around. Who knows? That's always an option for us. And yeah, I mean, there's the clear Metal Gear Solid influence, whether that's acknowledged or not. And
I
yeah.
did some research on that, and they claim it was a coincidence because this game they weren't completely being developed at the same time, but this game was far enough along when Metal Gear Solid released that it was I don't know. They claim it's a coincidence.
Have you finished this game ever?
Y Multiple times. It was one of the not recently. I think I might go back and do it though, but back in the day, I owned this on Nintendo 64. There's multiple endings, and I was one of the types that if I owned a game back then, I wanted to see every ending. So I definitely finished it for all 3 endings, possibly more. There was definitely a few nights we played the multiplayer deathmatch mode. on this before deciding it wasn't as good as GoldenEye. I'll give GoldenEye that on this. Their multiplayer is always better. Um, there were a few games like that. Like I remember Jet Force Gemini had a deathmatch mode too that never really held up.
Mhm.
Third person is just it's not as good for deathmatch. I think the only two games that ever came close, well, Perfect Dark, obviously, and Turok. We played a lot of that. Turok 2 had a deathmatch. Um, but yes, I've played a lot of this game.
Cool. Yeah, because I knew there was three endings, the normal, good and bad, or whatever they call it for that. And then yeah, I
Mhm.
wasn't sure how multiplayer translated for this one. I wasn't sure. But what are your opinions on that for multiplayer?
The control that's where the controls really fall apart. Like I could get used to them in the single player campaign because you could pace yourself and the enemy AI wasn't going to just run up on you. But in multiplayer matches, the controls for this game don't hold together as well. And again, I think third person is just not ideal for a shooter uh multiplayer match. I know some games have pulled it off, but as a whole, I would prefer first person for that. And yeah, I don't think the multiplayer was that good. It was just like almost an unwritten rule of the Nintendo 64 that you had to have a four-player mode of some kind because we got those four ports, so we gotta put a controller in each one.
Hey, I don't hate it. I wish that was more of a thing now.
Yeah.
I think they should be options for most games. So I in general I mostly agree with that. Uh, was there a second one? No, I forget. I didn't write it
No,
down.
there was versions on different systems, but there was like a PlayStation 2 version which I think might have even added some features. I never played it. And I believe there was a Game Boy version, Game Boy Color. I'm going to look that up real quick. But they weren't sequels. They were just versions of this. Nope, just Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 2, so my Game Boy memory was wrong.
Huh. Huh. So unlike
I'm
Metal Gear,
probably thinking of the Metal Gear Solid game they had on Game Boy.
right? Unlike Metal Gear Solid, it's just the one.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. You know, I was in the Wayback Machine last night looking up reviews of this game. I was on Game Informer, and they all gave it like 7 and 8s, and then at the
Mhm.
bottom of the web page, they have buy this game now, and they put the FuncoLand website, and I got stuck for like 10 minutes looking through the FuncoLand Wayback Machine website. It was
That's awesome.
awesome. Like I was looking at like it was an image from like 1999, I think, when this game came out, and they were still selling like Game Gear games on their website. I was like, man.
It has an 8.5 user score on Metacritic.
Mhm, yeah.
Maybe we should put those in this segment more often.
Well, it's cool. Like once we get to the N64, we actually do get Metacritic scores.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so yeah, we'll include that when we get like the actual later games. All the reviews that I read, yeah, they were all none of them were like blown away by it, but a lot of them um, criticized the graphics, and then the second biggest criticism I saw was camera controls,
Oh, yes. I was
which
gonna
is
say
common
voice
for.
acting.
Oh, sure.
But again, at the
Sure.
time,
At a
voice acting in
time
games was just like that.
at a time, I mean, even now, like,
Yeah.
again, we have games that have no voice acting. I would take, like, anything for it.
I mean, yeah, for a Nintendo 64 game, you're lucky there's voice acting in it. It wasn't easy for them to do. Like people made a huge deal about how much voice acting was in Conker's Bad Fur Day because it's hard to put it on that cartridge.
Right. Right, exactly. So, I could see that being a criticism as well. Camera controls, I think, were just the kind of how it was at the time. I think a lot of games
Yep.
in this era were trying to figure out how to control the cameras without having like dual sticks on both sides, and yeah. So I think that was pretty common. This one's right in the middle for me. Was there anything else before we get in the rankings? No.
No, it's just, oh, you usually ask who I'd recommend this to. I'd
Sure.
recommend it to anybody who is a fan of Nintendo 64 era games, who wants to see what Nintendo's answer to Metal Gear Solid was, because even though it wasn't intentional, I totally agree that that's what the marketing was going for, and it's definitely got the same vibes, as they say. So take a look at this game if you're looking for that, and just bear with the controls. You'll get used to them eventually, but they are awkward at first.
I had mine at 68. It's right around some other N64 games that I don't remember now, but it's right in the middle for me. I think it can move up if I go back and play it a little bit more. I only got about an hour before I had to stop and I just watched some other gameplay of it. Uh, but yeah, I don't know if there's as much motivation to go back to it, but I do think it is a pretty solid game, pun unintended, I guess. So, where did you have
Mhm.
it?
Well, I think we need a title for when somebody is nostalgia compromised, because I am nostalgia compromised on this one. Like I said, it was one of the games I owned growing up, so I played the heck out of it, loved it. I put this at number 29, which puts it right after Mario Golf and right ahead of Wario Land 4 on my list. I playing it this week for this segment made me want to do a full playthrough, which is kind of the thing that bumps up a game in my ranking. If I'm playing it here and I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to stop just because we're recording tonight. I'm going to go through this whole game. So yeah, 29, top 30 title right now.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I wish I had more time for it this week, but that's where it's going, and you get both of those perspectives. So cool.
Mhm.
All right.
Let's find out what we're gonna play next time. Oh, that's a different
We need to
song.
change the randomizer, but yeah, we'll
Yeah.
we'll fix it next time.
Okay. And the next game, it's a dual pack. We're doing two Sega Genesises, which would spend a minute since we've done Sega, so that's good. Pulse Man and Vector Man. And the reason I put those games together is I always confuse them for which one is which. And right now, just looking at the titles, I still can't remember which one is which. So maybe after this week, I'll know the difference between Pulse Man and Vector Man. Do you have any thoughts on them?
No, but I've played one of them, so
And you don't
I
know
feel
which
the
one,
same
right?
way. Yeah, yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's Vector Man, but I can't remember now.
All right.
Yeah.
So tune in for that next week. If you've got thoughts on Pulse Man and Vector Man or any of the 5 trailers we discussed this week, leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps out people who haven't discovered us yet find the channel. And if you could do us a favor, leave a comment if it's not related to what I just asked, because that also helps the algorithm. Videos with comments get shown to more people. So do that. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time for more Nintendo news.